Guten Tag, das good is time for news time. It's Gamescom week and this episode isn't about Gamescom. Why aren't we doing this episode about Gamescom? Because we did an episode about E3? Good lord. Well then what am I supposed to do with all this chocolate and beer I bought at wholesale thinking I can flip them on to the unsuspecting viewers? What about the Germanic references in the script? That is it, Ron. I'm not doing news time this week. I've had it with all these inconsistencies. 6 years of this crap, and enough is enough. Okay, so I've been reminded about my contract. Apparently I still have one more year, but by God, by this time next year, you'll be hearing from me about my contract and maybe Gamescom too. Let me just add it to my iCal. Well, this is an Android. I've missed so many doctor's appointments. I wonder if I'm pregnant.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the not Gamescom news you didn't know about. Yeah, I know. I'm not doing an episode about Gamescom, so I really need to find a topic. I kind of still want it to be gaming related because I'm in that mode right now. I'll pull something out of the inaugural topic hat. Boy, this thing is so wet. Why is it wet? Focus, Chad. Okay, this week's topic is gray market selling in video games. Truly compelling. You know when you're looking to buy a game or a game subscription like PlayStation Plus, Nintendo Online, or Xbox Live Ultimate, and you see a sale. But it's not just any sale, it's a sale from a website you've never really been to before, but you've heard of it, G2A. The prices are comparable, if not better than those you'll find from the gaming companies proper. $40 for a full year, $20 for 6 months, true deals. But not entirely legal, or safe to buy, really. G2A was founded in 2010 as an online storefront that anyone could use as a marketplace to sell video game keys. Keys are the alphanumeric string of codes that you get with a DLC pamphlet when you buy a physical game or a gift card. Users flock to the platform because prices are cheap and no one's asking questions, but sometimes a buyer can be burned by receiving a used code, leaving them out a few dollars. Usually, the seller will compensate the person, but that's still a risk. The problem, as Engadget's Nick Summers posits, is indie developers are getting screwed over. How so? Many of the game's codes being stolen are using money from stolen credit cards that the game developer would then have to repay to the victims, leaving the developer with less money than before. Or they're taken from online giveaways, reviewers, or any other manner of thievery. Recently, G2A has moved into advertising itself, and no one is happy with the idea. The website did stand up for itself by saying it would begin to closely monitor the key sales using an external auditor in addition to paying devs back money 10 times over. They even got a video on the subject.
The publishers and developers then sell keys in bulk to wholesalers, some of who put their products up on G2A.com to resell. Publishers and developers, as well as wholesalers, also sell keys to different online stores, including bundle sites. Some of these stores then sell keys on our marketplace. Clients also buy game keys from these stores and can resell them on G2A.com themselves. Publishers and developers often give game keys for free on social media and in different contests. Clients get these keys and sometimes put them up on G2A.com.
In the same post, G2A defended its position as a key seller, the biggest one in the biz in fact, and they're not the only ones doing the same job. They're just the one that got caught. The site also noted how hard it is for the average person to get a stolen credit card. And it for sure didn't sell stolen codes back in 2013 simply because it only came into existence fully in 2014. That, however, didn't stop gaming journalists from covering the website in a negative light, which is then led to an employee of G2A to try to pay off journalists, or attempt to. The person didn't get away with it. Here's everything they're doing now to stay operational, courtesy of Polygon's Charlie Hall. forcing users to reveal locations as fraud avoidance, blocking game key sales, but only if developers individually enter the exact keys they know were stolen into a special tool. Said tool will only be created once 100 devs give the go-ahead. The whole timeline from 2014 to today is available at Polygon. I suggest you give it a read. The gray market is just as its name implies, gray. It's not completely illegal for someone to sell video game code, nor is it illegal for anyone who wants a deal to buy the code. But it's not entirely legal how a seller gets the code. So it's not the black market, hence gray. But buying a code online is cheaper and better than buying physical. All of this comes after GameStop's stock fell a significant margin, with the store doubling down on IRL store operations and retro games in a world that's leaning heavily toward digital. G2A is the most prolific purveyor of cheap online game codes, but now devs are catching on, indie devs at that. And gamers can be profusely protective of indies, but they love a deal more. Can a good deal overtake their respect of those who pulled up their bootstraps and made a game from scratch? Time will tell. Until then, maybe just spend the extra few bucks. And where you spend the extra few bucks, why don't you spend some time checking out cpluscomedy.com by subscribing and watching one of our other videos. Of course, you can head on over to the website cpluscomedy.com, where there's a great bunch of things like interviews and other things. You can follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast. And be sure that when you're shooting a last minute news time, that you got everything and you're not messing with the script. Okay. Oh, God. 5 minutes.